Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Anyone who's watched my channel since the beginning will know that one of my earliest Star Wars videos, I think it was in the first dozen or so, that I ever made was actually about this. The Star Wars E11 Stormtrooper rifle toy that I got back in the 90s. Now, I'll put a link below to that video, but in a nutshell, I bought this because back in the 70s, I had actually lucked out and got the very, apparently now quite rare, Star Wars toy Stormtrooper rifle, the one that had the folding stock on it. That was apparently a limited edition thing available only up here in Canada, and nowadays collectors would pay top dollar for that thing. Again, I'll put a link below to my discussion at length about that video, or about that gun. But why I'm doing this video as a follow-up is because for Christmas time, I was sort of fishing around. People were asking for what do you want, and I was kind of running out of suggestions, but I did notice that there had actually been a follow-up to this toy, and that is this one behind it. This is actually the Star Wars E11 rifle done again, but this is a limited edition one that apparently was only available from, I think you had to go to Disneyland. You can see the little mouse icon there. I think this was, available only if you were at, there's the logo right there. Authentic, original, Disney Parks, that's what it says. Yeah, so if you went to any of the Star Wars rides in Disney Parks, you could buy this, which is the Stormtrooper blaster again, and as you can see from my 90s toy, it's pretty much the same mold. Everything looks almost exactly the same, but with a few slight differences. And these were not too pricey. I think they were like 30 bucks on Amazon, so I just said, hey, anybody who wants to get me something that would be kind of a nice making up for the past, and again, that video down below will explain what I mean by that, I'd kind of like to get this to undo that damage that my Star Wars collecting had suffered. So I got it. This is it, the Star Wars Stormtrooper blaster, and it looks pretty nice. I want to fire this thing up, try it out. Now it's actually slightly different from this 90s toy in that this one has a larger compartment here because it's actually got much better sound effects in it, and I have actually pulled the trigger already to try it out. It's got really nice light effects on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it from the packaging here and do a little comparison of this modern toy compared to this 90s one. Again, neither of them will fully replace the 70s one I had back in the day, but as a nice little compromise, let's see if this one will undo those mistakes of the past. All right, to reposition the camera here. Now I'm going to take it out. Luckily, the first of the straps that was holding the front of the gun in place is already broken, so that makes that a bit easier. I just have to snip here, and the gun will come out of its package. I'd kind of like to be very careful to maintain it. There we go. Okay, that's got it. Boy, they really secure these things in place, don't they? Let's remove it carefully here. And I want to keep the packaging because I don't know how long I'll keep this thing in my collection. It would be nice to be able to pass it on to somebody in relatively brand new condition. Very nice box. And here it is. Here is the E11. It's very, very nice. I like several things about it. I don't like other things. I'm going to do an A-B comparison in a second. For example, this has got a big orange trigger, whereas that 90s toy has it in white. They both have the orange plastic on the front so that you wouldn't accidentally be mistaken for carrying an actual sidearm or a firearm anywhere. What I had really liked about this in the pictures is, now here's the 90s toy. This one's actually, now you can kind of see the 90s toy looks a little more beefy. It's got more kind of, I don't know, more of a foundation here, whereas this just looks like a little tube. And I don't know, it seems almost like the nozzle has a little more heft on the old 90s one. But what is really the big selling feature for me is at least this has the folding stock. Now it doesn't actually unfold, it's molded in. This doesn't come out, but at least it looks a little bit more like the Stormtrooper gun. This one, although in the correct shape of that original model, because it's missing this piece here, it never quite struck me as looking like a Stormtrooper gun. This one has the proper E11 look to it with that folding stock. So that's nice. But it does seem a little lighter, a little more flimsy, but whatever. Now let's try out the sound effects, and you'll notice the gun actually lights up on the front. Very cool. Now, one slight disadvantage over the 90s toy is this one only has one blast sound effect. No matter how many times I pull the trigger, it's always the same sound effect. Whereas if you've watched that other video, the 90s version, if you pull the trigger a couple of different ways, you get at least 2 different blast sound effects. But what is really nice with this one, I can always set to stun. And that's kind of cool. I really like that. I think that's a neat, it's got a really nice speaker on it, better sound effects than the 90s version. And the fact that you can switch it to blast or stun, that's pretty cool. I'm very pleased with this. Again, I thought, you know what, for a bit of a random gift, if people want to send me this thing, sure, yeah, I will totally accept it. And that way I've undone that mistake of yesteryear. There's the other side. Got that little, I don't know what that thing is. Is that like a thumb grip or something? Not sure. Yeah, pretty cool. I like it. Let me point it at you and show you what it looks like with the blaster. That's you. That's pretty neat. And then for stun, very cool. Yeah, very, very happy with that. But I suppose I should really do this the proper way, shouldn't I? Yeah, I really like this. But of course I have to do the proper test.
It's them! Blast them! There's one. Set for stun.
There are my Stormtrooper blasters. I'm very happy with this new one that I got for Christmas. Thank you to my wife. I think she got it on eBay, or you can get these things through some online retailers, or you can, if you happen to be in any of the Disney parks, I think they still sell them on the shelves. You can't go to your average Toys R Us and pick them up, though. However, I really, really like this one. Love the sound effects, love the look. I love the fact the folding stock is back, because that was something I always missed with the 90s version. And yeah, I just think it's a cute little addition to the collection. You know, it was a great Christmas gift idea, and I'm very glad that I got it. All right, well, until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.